So, I just uploaded part 10 of my Mass Effect no commentary series, and I figured a good way to celebrate that achievement. It was an achievement for me because I don't do things, I don't edit. Anyways, a good way to celebrate that would be to do a recap of Mass Effect 1 and 2 while I'm halfway through Mass Effect 3. It makes sense to me, so it's alright. We start Mass Effect 1. We start the game off. So, well, technically you start the game off by picking your background. You can pick where you're born, Earthborn, colony raised, things like that. You can pick the military achievement that you're most known for. Most of these don't actually have an effect on the game. They just change up some dialogue bits. But aside from that, it's just kind of whatever. So, we start off with Shepard, who I think is like a captain at this point. I don't know military slangs, what? Military rankings. So I don't actually know what ranking Shepard is at this point, but I know at some point Shepard becomes Commander Shepard. But right now, Shepard is on Anderson's ship, the Normandy, and she is standing with Joker, who has just landed the ship in the Attican Traverse at the border of the Terminus system. They're headed towards a human colony called Eden Prime for what I think at this point they think is some kind of cargo drop-off or whatever. But anyways, there's a dude there. He's not really a dude, he's a Turian, which is the same species as Garrus. He's there, and he's like, congratulations, Joker. He says, well done, Joker. And Joker's like, that wasn't just well done, that was fucking amazing. People don't land ships the way I land ships. Let's chill out. But anyways, he doesn't say that to Nihilus. Nihilus is the Turian dude. Nihilus leaves. And Joker's like, so no one else thinks it's weird that there's a Spectre on board? So, first definition of many, many, many definitions to come. A Spectre is basically like the personal authority figures or police or whatever for the Citadel Council. Citadel Council are a trio of the most powerful, I guess, species in the galaxy. And the Citadel is this like planet size, like a mini planet size thing in space. It's this big mechanical god knows what. The Asari found it first, and then came the Turians and Solarians and everything. And now people live there, they work there, people just have their entire lives there. It's like a city, but the size of like a planet or something, I think. And now I know it's actually roughly the size of a country, it looks like. Anyways, the three largest, most powerful species at this point run the Citadel, and they make up the Citadel Council. So you have a Turian, you have an Asari, and you have a Solarian, and they're all chancellors. And they have the Spectres, who are lawless, and they have restriction lists, and they can kind of go out and do whatever it is that they're asked to by the Citadel Council. So Nihilus is a Spectre, and Joker's like, we're supposed to be going to a human colony for some kind of weird fluff trip, and we have a Spectre on board? No one else thinks that's weird? And Shepard is like, that is a bit odd, isn't it? Kaidan's like, I'm minding my business. Kaidan is one of the main party members that Shepard gets to run around and fight with. He's a human. He's cool. He's also a bionic, meaning he has like superpowers or something. He has these implants that help him like use his powers or give him powers. I don't actually understand how the bionics works, but he got superpowers. That's all that matters at this point. Shepard gets called down to talk to Anderson, and on her way she meets a few people who work on the ship. You have Presley. He runs the ship when Shepard is away. You have the doctor. We meet her. She sticks around for all three games, and you have this bright-eyed, bushy-eyed blonde dude who's really excited to get some action. Yeah, don't get attached to him. So we make our way to the place, and Anderson's not there, but Nihilus is, and we're like, Nihilus, what's up? And Nihilus is like, hi, Shepard. And so Shepard's like, okay, what's really going on? And Anderson shows up, and we find out that this little trip is not the little whatever trip that they made it out to seem. It's actually a recon mission, I think. We got a weird little video of weird things happening in the Eden Prime colony, and we're gonna go check it out. And the Spectre's coming. because this is gonna be Shepard's audition to be the first ever human Spectre. So that's why Nihilus is there, to just like check her out. I believe he nominated her. Cool, thanks Nihilus. So they show us a clip, and it's like weird and jumbly, and people are being attacked, and it's just like it's just chaos in the video. So we get to Eden Prime. Joker lands us in Eden Prime. We get on a shuttle, and we're with Kaidan and Bushy Eyes. Nihilus is like, yeah, I work alone. See y'all when we get there. See y'all when I see y'all. And he like fucks off somewhere, and that's fine. So we get off the shuttle. We take one like corner, and Bushy Eyes gets unalived almost immediately, and Ashley joins the party. It's literally that fast. Like, Mans gets shot, he dies, and then we meet this like woman, and she's like, I was military too, I got stationed here because I don't work well with others or whatever, but I know what's going on. Like, our people, humans, are being like kidnapped or whatever, just like taken and put on these big spiky things, and when they come back down, they're like these weird they're husks, they're these weird zombie things, and they're attacking, and bad things are happening. So we're like, okay, and Ashley's like, I want to go with you because I'm military and I like to fight. Shepard's like, bet, hop in the squad. So now it's Shepard, Kaidan, and Ashley, and we go running. Cut to Nihilus. Nihilus has found something, and as he walks in, he sees Saren. He's like, Saren? Saren's also a Spectre. Saren's also a Tyrian, and Nihilus and Saren know each other. And Nihilus is like, Saren, what are you doing here? I was sent on this mission. What are you here for? Saren is like, oh, I heard about it and I came down to take a look. That's all this is. Nihilus is like, all right, bet, because he has no reason to be suspicious. The Spectres are supposed to be loyal to the council and everything. You know, they're only there for the good of the galaxy. So Nihilus turns his back on him. He's talking about the beacon and whatever. And Saren is like, yeah, totally. Pulls out a gun, shoots him in the head. Nihilus has been unalived. Nihilus is on the ground. Damn. So Shepard and then run up, and they find Nihilus' dead body. You're like, oh my god, what happened to Nihilus? A human who survived this whole thing by being lazy, deadass. Mans took an extra nap, and that's how he survived the invasion. Comes out from around the corner. He's like, I saw everything. The guy who looked like him, he's talking because they're both Tyrians. He's like, the other dude who looked just like the guy who's dead shot him in the head. And we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, he called him Saren. Like, oh. So now we know that Saren has shot Nihilus, and the lazy man, is also like, by the way, the Geth are the ones attacking. The Geth have attacked us. So the Geth. So there is this species called the Quarians. They're like geniuses. They're technological geniuses. They just be building shit. They're so smart. They're too damn smart. So artificial intelligence is illegal in the galaxy because of its ability to just go bad. But the Quarians created virtual intelligence to just help them out with, like, you know, minuscule things. Kind of like how we do here in the real world. Just have little robots that be doing stuff for us. Well, we don't have robots yet, but we do have virtual assistants, you know? They have virtual intelligence, and theirs are actual little robots and units and everything. One day, when the units start asking questions, like, do I have a soul? Am I alive? You know, those kinds of questions. It's like, why do you even know to ask these things type questions? Quarians got scared. They were like, these fucking robots are starting to gain sentience. Let's pull the plug immediately. They're like, let's pull the plug. It's too risky. Too late. The Geth were like, did you just try to unalive us? Excuse me? Did you just try to... Okay, no, we're not doing that. Not today. So they fought the Quarians and kicked them off their planet. It's embarrassing. They said, this is our planet now because y'all thought you were going to be slick with it and get off our planet. So the Quarians hopped on their ships, and now they're just like a fleet of ships. They all just live on ships, and they lived on ships for generations. As a result of them living on ships for generations, their immune systems are garbage. Their immune systems do not work. They're all like trapped in these suits, and if like a hole is punctured in one of those suits and they get infected, they could die. They don't have immune systems. It's actually madness. Because the ships are sterile environments, and without bacteria or viruses or anything, their immune system had nothing to work it, to keep that mother working. So it just disappeared, I guess. So the Geth and Quarians do not fuck with each other, and the Quarians want their planet back because it's the only planet where they can like It's the only planet where they can live. To find a new planet and to like readjust their immune system to their planet would just take too much work. Their bodies are already aligned with their planet or whatever. So they want their planet back. The Geth are like, we're not giving this baby up. This is ours. So the Geth live in the Terminus system, right? So remember, the Eden Prime is on the board of the Terminus system. We will run back to that. So the Geth attacked Eden Prime, which is weird, but so we just kind of note that in our little memory pad and we keep it pushing. We get to the beacon, and Caden wants to be touching shit, so he's getting closer and closer. The beacon grabs him with this kind of like telekinetic field and is like dragging him closer. Caden's like, oh no. Shepard, being the hero that she fucking is, runs up and just like body shoves him out of the way. It's like, it's cool, Caden. Well, no, she didn't say that. She then starts to scream because now she's being dragged, and she gets like elevated into the sky and just gets all these visions just flash before her eyes, and she's like, oh my god, and it's all fucking weird. Fuck you, Caden, for getting her caught up. Everything's weird and it's danger and that, but she doesn't understand any of it because it's like a really hard to understand vision. She gets back on the scene ends. We get back to Normandy, and they're like, okay, bitch, what happened? Shepard's like, so Saren killed Nihilus and the Geth attacked Eden Prime. So the humans like, Anderson's like, okay, bet, we're gonna take this to the Citadel and have them deal with this. We get to the Citadel. Citadel's like, the council's like, we're not having it. They call Saren up. They're like, bruh, she said you killed Nihilus. Saren's like, what? Nihilus was my homie. I would never do that. What? Lying little piece of shit. Shepard's like, bruh, I know you did it. And now Saren's like, you have no proof, bitch. I don't care what you have to say. So it also shows up that he and Anderson do not get along. They have beef. And Saren is also quite human hating. He's anti-human, I guess. So Council's like, yeah, we're gonna believe our Spectre over you because we don't know you, sis. Also, you failed your Spectre test because the guy who was supposed to be watching you is dead. I don't know what to tell you. Like, who are you? Like, who? Bitch, bye. And then Udina, who's like the ambassador for the humans, is like, so the Geth attacked the human colony. We're gonna do something about that? Council's like, no, we're not. That's not our responsibility. Now, if it's like Asari attacked the human colony, we could do something about that. But we don't control the Geth. And y'all decided to put a colony on the border of the Terminus system when you know damn well Terminus system is out of our jurisdiction. That's none of our business what happened between you and the Geth. You shouldn't have put a colony that close to the border. And, you know, that was a you risk and not got nothing to do with us. Okay, bye. And that was like the end of that. So that's like the end of the intro. Basically, there was a beacon. It did weird stuff. Saren's a traitor. No one believes Shepard. The Geth are attacking. Everything's So now we get to part one. Yeah, that was just the intro. Now we get to part one. Shepard's like, we need to find proof that Saren killed Nihilus. Well, on their way to talk to the council, we overheard a CSEC, who were like the Citadel cops or whatever, arguing with his like higher up, and was like, he apparently knows something about Saren or something. He has information. So we're like, let's go find that guy. So without going through the whole shtick of it, basically what happened, because this is like, that's one of the good things about Mass Effect, because it runs kind of like a movie. Things are happening unrelated to you that later on affect you. So unrelated to Shepard, there is a Quarian who's on a pilgrimage. Right, so the Quarians, when they hit like of age, they go on these things called a pilgrimage, where they go out into the world and they have to bring something back to give to the captain of their next ship. So when they come back, they switch ships from their birth ship to their new ship, and they have to give the ship person a gift to prove that they are going to be useful. And this journey to go find this gift is called a pilgrimage. So we find a Quarian who was on her pilgrimage, found incriminating information about Saren. It was a recording. She told a doctor. That doctor then referred her to someone named Fist, who is a shadow broker agent. The shadow broker is this person who just has information left, right, and center, and no one knows who this like being is. But this being has agents everywhere. So Fist is a shadow broker agent. The doctor said, go tell Fist, because shadow broker is the broker of information. This information will be useful to the shadow broker. What the doctor did not know was that Fist switched sides to Saren. So when Fist got the information, Fist was like, okay, now everybody gotta die. The doctor's gotta die. The Quarians gotta die. We're switching sides. So Fist is now hunting the doctor and the Quarian. Garrus Vakarian, who is the Turian we bumped into on our way to go talk to the Citadel, is trying to protect the Doctor from Fist because he knows about what's happening. Urdot Rex is a Krogan. We're gonna get to the Krogan. Oh my god, we're gonna get to the Krogan. Urdot Rex is a Krogan who was hired. He's a bounty hunter, mercenary type stuff. He was hired by the Shadow Broker to kill Fist, and the Quarian, her name is Talizura Vas Raya. The ship is called the Raya, so Talizura is her name. Vas Raya is like of Raya, something like that. So she's got the actual evidence that will incriminate Saren. So we spend the entire first bit running around trying to get to Tali, and in trying to get to Tali, we end up recruiting Garrus, who's trying to protect the Doctor, and Rex, who's trying to kill Fist, and they join our party. So we get Tali and we take her to meet Udina and Anderson. And Tali's like, yeah, so here's my thing, right? I have this recording that proves that Saren attacked Eden Prime, and there's also another voice on the recording that mentions something called a Reaper, and the voice says something, and I quote, the Geth revere something about the, okay, I take it back, I don't quote, I don't actually know the words, but something about the Geth like looking up to the Reapers as like gods, because the Reapers are, we don't know this yet, but the Reapers are like machines, a machine species, and the Geth are machines, you know, so the Geth look up to the Reapers, and something about them being responsible for wiping out the Protheans 50,000 years ago. The Protheans are this like ancient, they're like dinosaur stuff. They're like an ancient intelligent species. They are believed to have created the Mass Effect. The Mass Effect, what would you call them? Portals? I wouldn't call it a portal. It's the thing that helps ships go from one side of the galaxy to the other. Hence the name of the game, Mass Effect. So they're believed to have created the Mass Effect thingies. So we don't know who the second voice is yet, but we have evidence now that Saren was responsible for the attack on Eden Prime. We give this evidence to the council. They're like, oh shit, well we can't deny that. So they strip Saren of his Spectre status, and in the process, Udina's like, so you're gonna do something about Eden Prime? And the council's like, no, we're not gonna do anything about Eden Prime. However, to show goodwill, we will make Shepard a Spectre. So Shepard becomes the first ever human Spectre, and in return, they don't have to do anything about the actual attack on Eden Prime. And Saren's out of a job, and Shepard's first job now is to track down Saren and bring him to justice or whatever. And it's cool. We love that. And Anderson also gives Shepard the Normandy. We also, throughout running around, find out that Anderson and Saren go way back. Apparently, Anderson was going to be the first human Spectre, but Saren sabotaged him because he's a hating ass bitch. And he hates humans. So that's like their beef. So that's why it's better if Shepard does it, I guess. So Shepard gets to Normandy. Cool. So that is the end of part 1. Whew, let's take a break. And we're back. So part 2, we go looking for someone named Liara T'Soni. Liara T'Soni is an Asari archaeologist who is known for her knowledge of Protheans. So an Asari, do I want to go through the species before we really hop into this? Yeah, let's go through the species just a little bit. So the Turians, just the important things you need to know about them. They look very bird-like. They got like fringes and shit. You've seen Garrus. They're those are the Turians. They're very military focused. They're very like they have very clear ranking systems. They love to fight. They love a good fight, but not the way the Krogans do. We're gonna get to the Krogans. Oh my god, that's a whole story, and I'm gonna hold off on that one. The Asari are this all female species. They're all blue, and apparently they look like the female version of whatever your species is. Which is information you only find out if you go run around eavesdropping, that there are these 3 individuals. One's like a Turian, one's human, and one is, I think, Solarian? I don't actually remember. And they're talking and they start describing the Asari, but the things that they're describing are things that would be attractive to each of their species. So that leads people who play the game to believe that the Asari are not, they look the way you define a female of your species, with certain details that are going to remain very Asari, like the blue skin and like the way their heads are kind of shaped. Solarians are, and the Asari live for thousands of years, which is very opposite to the Solarians, who only live for roughly 40 years, but they are like fucking quick as whips. They're fucking smart. They're like the smartest species in the entire galaxy. and they have very short lives. So they yeah, they live it to the fullest, I guess is what I can say. We talked about the Quarians. We're gonna hold off on the Krogan. There are a few other species that aren't as relevant to the primary story, so we're gonna leave them alone. We'll come back to them as they come up. So yeah, Liara T'Soni is an Asari archaeologist. She's known for her knowledge of the Protheans, and because of this, Saren wants her. We going after her too. So we decided we're just gonna get to her before Saren gets to her. This is a little fuzzy how we even ended up on this trip, but I think it's to find out more information about the recording, find out more information about the Protheans, that and maybe she knows something about the Reapers, that kind of stuff. So we go after her. We find her trapped in a Prothean device that she used to protect herself from the Geth, who came to kidnap her for Saren. We free her, fill her in, she joins the crew, and she informs us that the other voice on the recording is none other than Matriarch Benezia, who happens to be Liara's mother, though they haven't spoken in years, whatever that means for fucking Asari. They live thousands of years. Yours is probably like 3 days. But anyways, in talking to her, she also breaks down the Reapers. The Reapers are mechanical beings that come through every 50,000 years, my bad, to wipe out all organic beings, which of course begs the question, and why the fuck is Saren working with them? Saren is an organic being. We get why the Geth are doing it, but Saren, is you confused, my guy? Are you confused? Maybe. Anyways, we now have 2 more locations to go to. The first place we go to is Pharos, because Saren has sent Geth troops to this place called Zoo's Hope. We get there, people are acting weird. They're acting weird. They just, no one seems to want to answer a question. Everyone is just weird. Turns out there's a big giant mind control plant underneath the colony called the Thorian. And this organization called Exogeny knew about that, and they decided to let it continue to let it just do whatever it's doing, so they could study its effect on the minds of the colonists. Right? So we find the Thorian, and we find out that Saren sent the Geth there to destroy the Thorian because the Thorian has been alive for a very long time, and it essentially absorbed the essence of the Protheans, and it gave the knowledge of how to decipher the vision to Saren. So the vision from the beginning that made no sense, that was just chaos, was a vision from the Protheans, but because they they communicated differently, we didn't understand the vision. However, the Thorian knows how to decipher the vision, and it gave that knowledge to Saren. Now Saren wants to stop Shepard from deciphering her vision, so Saren send his Geth troops to go and destroy the Thorian. We get to the Thorian. Thorian is not really trying to help because she's like, I trusted one of y'all organics once, I'm not doing it again, fuck y'all. So we have to destroy the Thorian, and in doing so we can free the citizens of Zoo's Hope from the Thorian's influence. Then we go to Noveria. A bunch of stuff happens in Noveria, but the important thing is that Benezia is here. We go to her and we find out that she's a matriarch, which means she's been alive for thousands of years. And at this point in her life, she wants to guide people, right? So she found Saren and she wanted to guide Saren towards a better direction than the one he was on. However, she ended up getting indoctrinated. We're going to talk about that. Hold off. She ends up getting indoctrinated. And she also tells us, we're able to snap her out of it for a bit, and she's able to tell us that Saren is also indoctrinated, but he just doesn't realize it. He thinks he's still in control. Anyways, she snaps back into evil, so we fight her and we kill her. Sorry, Liara, not that she really super cares. So indoctrination, before we hop into part 3, indoctrination is this thing that the Reapers can do to help convince people, quote unquote convince people, to work with them, to work on their side, right? And it's really just mind control. And if you're anywhere near a Reaper artifact, you will be mind controlled. In other words, indoctrinated into helping them. And Saren believes he's not indoctrinated, but he is definitely getting indoctrinated according to Matriarch Benezia. So that's that. Part 3. We're going to Varamir. Varamir. The council hits us up. So at this point, Liara's on our team, by the way, as well. Shout out Liara. So our party looks like Caden, Ashley from the beginning, Garrus, Tali, Rex from the Citadel, and Liara. And I do believe that's it. So we get back on the ship and the council hits us up. They're like, the Solarians were doing their thing, stupid around, and they found out that Saren is hiding out in Vermeer. So two things happen when we get there, because we're immediately going. We're going to go shoot that mother up, you know? We get there, we find out two things. One, we find out that Saren has a cure for the genophage. What is the genophage, you ask? I'm so glad you've asked me this question. I'm so looking forward to explaining it to you. Let's go back to the Krogan. Remember the Krogan? I said we come back to them. Oh, we're back to them. Let's do this. So the Krogan. Ooh, baby. So before we even get to the Krogan, we have to start before the Krogan. We have to start the Rachni Wars. So the Rachni are this hive mind alien species of like fucking spider looking things, right? And they are born starving. They were just eating up the galaxy, just eating everything in their path. And all the other species, the Solarians, the Asari, the Turians, were like, this can't go on. We got to do something about this. But they were losing their fight with the Rachni. So they discovered an, I guess you could call them immature species, called the Krogan. They hadn't developed yet. But they showed signs of aggression, and they were good fighters, and they produced babies like this. One like Krogan woman could have, Krogan female, I guess, could have like 1,000 babies per fucking pregnancy. It was mad. And they loved to fight. They were crazy aggressive. So the Solarians went down there and evolved them faster than they should have. They sped up their evolution. And it worked. The Krogans took out the Rachni, decimated them, sent them back to their shadow corners of the planet. We will come back to the Rachni in a little bit, but let's focus. Send them back to a little shadow corner in the planet. But they didn't know when to stop. The Krogan were like, well, now that we're mature, we're evolved, and there's a lot of us, and we like to fight, and we're good at it, and frankly, we just saved the galaxy, so maybe you guys owe us everything. We're just gonna start taking things. Start taking colony here. First it was just like empty planets, but then they started taking other people's colonies. And those people went to the council like, do something, fix it. But the council knew they couldn't afford a war with the Krogan. They just wouldn't win. Not only did they live for combat, they had babies like crazy. There just were too many of them. So they were like, we gotta do something about this. The Solarians, they started this, right? They created the problem. They're like, we're gonna come up with a solution. Hold off. Wait. And they came up with a genetic disorder that basically sterilized the Krogan species. It made it so that the men were basically sterile, and the women, if they did get pregnant, were more likely to have stillborns than anything else. The population for the Krogan dropped dramatically. And the Krogan have been dealing with the genophage for centuries, I think. I don't actually I believe it's been centuries. It's been a long ass time since the Krogan have been dealing with the genophage. They lost organization. They basically lost like the will to like fight. And to most of Krogan these days, they just kind of, once they get of age, they leave Tachanka, their home planet, and just become mercenaries and bounty hunters, because they basically have nothing to live for. The Krogan can't do anything because they're lucky enough to even have babies at this point. Like it's quite fucked up that it's basically like genocide, really. So when we get to Vermeer, we find out that Saren apparently has a cure for the genophage. Now, here's where party relationships matter. If you've been talking and doing missions with your party, Ashley, Caden, Rex, Garrus, Tali, if you've been like keeping up with them regularly and you build a strong relationship with them, this for the rest of them, their impact isn't as but for Rex, it's life and death, right? So if you got a good relationship with Rex, and he finds out that Saren has a cure for the genophage, he will look into you and be like, we cannot destroy this cure. We need the cure. But you can't get the cure because we need to destroy Saren, right? And Rex is like, I'm not going, could be my people's last chance of curing ourselves of this genophage. So if your relationship is good with Rex, you can convince him to stay with you. And he will be like, okay, fine, but this isn't cool. I don't like this. And he will choose you over a possible cure for his people. If your relationship is not strong enough with Rex, he will pull his gun out on you and you will be forced to kill him. It's literally like that's these are your options. You're either best friends with him and he chooses you, or you're not close enough with him and he chooses the cure, and in doing so chooses to try to end you. I fortunately love hanging out with my crew, so I have a great relationship with all of them, which is a good and a bad thing. So that's number one. That's the first thing that happens. So after we talk to Garrus, we get him on our side. Everything's cool. We meet Captain. Well, we've been met Captain Kirahi, but Captain Kirahi, who's the Solarian commander, or Captain whatever, gives a fantastic speech called "Stand the Line." I think that how am I blanking on the name of the speech? I knew it this whole time, and now I'm blanking on it. Not stand the line, hold the line. He gives this fantastic speech called like "Hold the Line," about how no matter what happens, we hold the line type thing. It's great. We love it. It's a really energy booster. We love the speech. So there's also a thing, like if you make a certain decision while you're doing the final charge, you have the ability to either save Captain Kirahi or make a decision that'll lead him to die. So you have to be really careful here and listen to your radio. But in my lore, we save Kirahi because we love that dude. So when we're marching through Virmir and we bump into Sovereign. At first, we think Sovereign is Saren's ship. Turns out, Sovereign isn't Saren's ship. Sovereign is a Reaper. Dun dun dun. Sovereign is a Reaper. Yup. He's not just any. He's basically like a scavenger ant. You know when you're like in your kitchen and you see that one ant in the beginning of summer, just like running around, and then if you leave that ant alone, next thing you know you have a trail of ants. Yeah, Sovereign is that first ant. He came to like peep. He's like, let's look around and see if it's time. It's time yet. So the way the Reapers work is that once every 50,000 years, so basically once organics have discovered the mass relays, that marks the time that they need to be destroyed. That is what the Reapers look out for. Once organics are using the mass relays, it's time for the harvesting to take place. But he says that they're doing it for reasons that we cannot understand as organics. So he's not really trying to explain himself. But we just know Sovereign is a Reaper. Saren's indoctrinated. He doesn't realize it though. And he's just mean. We don't like Sovereign. He's mean. Boo, Sovereign sucks. So anyways, Sovereign pieces out. And we're like, okay, cool, whatever. And now, so we set the bomb. And now we have a difficult choice to make. We can either go save Ashley or go save Kaidan. Now, here's another one of those things where a relationship can matter. Kaidan and Ashley are the only two romanceable characters in this game. Unfortunately, at this period in time, I guess the gays just didn't exist in the future. I don't know what to tell you. So if you're a woman, you get Kaidan. If you're a man, you get Ashley. Fortunately, as the story goes on, Shepard's romance and sexuality gets more development, thank fucking God. But at this point, we have Kaidan, we have Ashley. You can only save one. It doesn't matter how good your relationship is with them. Nothing matters. You can only save one. Now, if you are me and you are a woman Shepard and you romance Kaidan, the choice is easier. If you do not romance either of them, or your romance isn't really, you don't really care about the romance too much, then the choice might be a little harder. But look, it's up to you. Do whatever you want. Me, I saved Kaidan because he was basically my boyfriend at the time. I don't know what to tell you. Like, and me and Ashley, we didn't get along that well anyway. She's like super anti other species, but I think like she kind of like sorts it out the more she hangs out with the other crew members, and she becomes like a better person by the end of the game. But I'm not gonna pick her over Kaidan. I'm sorry, girl. So she died. We chose Kaidan. She died. We get to fight Saren and find out that he believes that if he can prove that organics can be useful, the Reapers won't just annihilate all of them. He does not yet realize he's been indoctrinated, but he escapes. Anyways, we fight him and he escapes. Okay, fine, whatever. This leads us to the finale. Saren has sent his troops to Ilos and we follow. When we get to Ilos, we find a Prothean VI called Vigil. Vigil basically gives us just all the information that we've been looking for this whole fucking game. He says the beacons were a warning that the Reapers were coming. But unfortunately, we didn't understand the warning because we're humans and we're not Prothean. I don't know what to tell you. He tells us, based on that, basically the Citadel is not just some random thing in the sky. It's a massive, mass relay that'll bring the Reapers in through from the dark space. That's where the Reapers are. They're waiting in dark space. Once Saren and Sovereign activate the mass relay on this side, the Reapers can then flood through and just like start destroying humans. That's what there are these like things on the Citadel. They're kind of like spider minotaurs in a way, except instead of like a human body, it's just like a more insect. They're massive and people don't really interact with them. There's this side mission that like will have you scan them, and this can be useful at this point because it'll basically help you stop the Keepers from like activating the Citadel. It's a lot of stuff. Just the important part is that the Keepers are there to activate the mass relay and bring the Reapers through. This is bad. This is not great. So we need to go. So we race back to the Citadel, and there's just fights. There's just fighting everywhere you go. Fighting. The Geth troops have all fucking landed. Saren is there. Sovereign is there, and they're just going ham. Everybody's dying left and right. We make our way through Citadel, and we're able to like stop the Keepers, and we're able to stop Saren from opening the mass relay and ushering in the Reapers. But we do get to a part where we're talking to Saren, and if we're Paragon is high enough, or Renegade, whichever one is high enough, we're able to snap Saren out of it and make him realize that he's being indoctrinated. If we do this, he will shoot himself and die. If we don't do this, we will fight him and kill him. But he will come back later as a husk. Saren revives him as like this kind of weird husk thing that be crawling on the walls, and we have to fight him twice. But we defeat him, and we also defeat Sovereign. But there's this one big massive decision that needs to be made, and it matters, and that is the Citadel Council ship is in a dangerous spot in the fight. We have the option to save the council ship, which will mean losing a lot of alliance. Alliance is are the human military. We're called the Alliance, and Shepard is a part of the Alliance, which will mean losing a lot of Alliance members. And considering the way the humans have been treated by the council and by other species, not all the Alliance members, not all the humans really love them. So we could also just not help them, and we'll have more Alliance members alive. We make the right decision, and we decide to save the council. Which, like, for me, it's like the council's gonna get replaced anyway in the next game. Look, the enemy you know, right? The devil you know, right? So we save the day, we save the council, and everything is all great. And that is Mass Effect 1. So what's Mass Effect 2? Mass Effect 2 is like, so Mass Effect 1 was definitely going along a linear story, and you just kind of like pick people up as you went. Mass Effect 2's layout is not a little bit. It's a lot more. It's more different. That's not English. That's not how grammar works. It's different. It's different in that there is still a plot line that's happening, but the plot itself is actually quite short in comparison. The thing that adds the story to the Mass Effect 2 game, Mass Effect 2, is really the gameplay, right? That's what acts as the chunk of it. So we're going to go through it, and you're going to see what I mean. It's going to be a lot shorter than Mass Effect 1 because there's a lot less to explain, first of all, because so much of this world has been explained in Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 2 is just kind of, you're not just kind of living in it. So Mass Effect 2 starts with the Normandy ship getting blown up and Shepard dies. I'm not even kidding. It's literally like 3 seconds. The ship gets attacked, and the ship blows up, and Shepard literally dies. The next scene is Shepard opening her eyes. So Shepard gets rebuilt by Cerberus. You know what? Before we get to Cerberus, let's cover 2 more things. One is the Rachni. So throughout Mass Effect 1, we are fighting Cerberus, and we're fighting the Rachni. Cerberus brought back the Rachni so Cerberus, what is Cerberus? Let's talk about Cerberus. Cerberus is this super pro-human organization. They do not fuck with other species. Turian, Asari, Solarian, they don't know y'all, they don't like y'all, they're not here for you. They're like the white supremacist of our world, but they're like human supremacists. Cerberus is like, and they will kill any and everyone, including humans, to make sure that the humans basically come out of everything on top, and that human ideals or preserve, and just like to make sure humans are okay, to put humans on the top of everything. Cerberus is super pro-human to the detriment of every other species in the galaxy. That's Cerberus. Cerberus at one point found a Rachni egg, and they basically hatched it because they were hoping to weaponize the Rachni and use the Rachni against the other species, because the Rachni almost wiped them out once, so they figured if we can control the Rachni, we can do it again. Like when I say like they are super pro-human, they're super down with destroying and killing every other species. They do not care. So we find their Rachni queen, and we have a choice to make in the first game where we can either let the new Rachni queen live. She's like, I don't want to fight. Just me and my babies, just put us off. Let's leave us alone. I will go away and you will never see me again, Shepard. Like, I promise you, I'm not trying to fight this fight. I just want to be left alone and sing my song with my babies. Just leave me alone. Or we can kill her and be like, I'm not taking that risk. I let the Rachni queen live. I was like, you know what, bitch? You right. You didn't ask for this. And you seem different than the other ones who were trying to eat everything. So we'll just look. Just fuck off to some random corner of the galaxy. I got no beef with you. We're good. We're cool. And she's like, bet, you're a real one. It's like, great. So that is the Rachni. The Rachni do not come back until Mass Effect 3. We've already seen, we've already seen them when we went to go help out Grunt. That was our Rachni queen. Because we let her live, she was kidnapped by the Reapers and forced to like do bad things. But if we had killed her, then they would have created an artificial queen anyway, and she would have been more problematic. But R.I.P. the Rachni queen. The Cerberus, back to Cerberus. So Cerberus is kind of like is more of a focus in this game, right? So Shepard gets rebuilt over the span of 2 years. Shepard gets rebuilt cell by cell by Cerberus. I don't know how to explain that. It's called Leviathan. I don't know how to explain not the Leviathan. Lazarus thing. I don't know how to explain to you how they did it. That's for a biology channel. This isn't what we do here. So Shepard gets rebuilt by Cerberus. The Illusive Man is like, so the Illusive Man's the guy who runs Cerberus. He's super pro-human, and he's like, we need Shepard. Why do we need Shepard? Because humans are going missing. Colony by colony, they're vanishing. It's not good. And Lucid Man's like, we need a hero, and no one is a better hero than fucking Shepard. Shepard can do it for us. And Shepard is like, bet, got you. And Lucid Man's like, humans are going missing. No one else is doing anything about it. Not even the fucking council, the fucking ambassador of the humans on the Citadel. No one cares. So we're going to care. We're gonna find the humans, and we're gonna save them. And I'm like, cool. I love that. Love that for us. And he's like, so you're gonna help us fix humans going missing. Here's Joker. Joker was mad about how the Alliance dealt with Shepard's situation and joined Cerberus as a result of it. So he's like, bet, let's do it. So we got Joker. We got a brand new Normandy 2. There's actually like a SSR 2, something like that. SSR Normandy 2? Something. It's the second Normandy. It's great. And yeah, so the Lucid Man's like, here's a dossier. Here's your crew. You're gonna get these people on this list, and then you're going to find out everything that you can about what the missing human colonies. And you're gonna find them, and you're gonna get them back. And interesting thing about the fucking dossier, some of them are alien. And I'm like, Mr. Lucid Man, I thought you hated aliens. And Lucid Man's like, yeah, but you like them, and if you can work with them and they can help us save humans, I'm not super bothered right now. Okay. So he gives us the dossier, and he's like, go find these people. I'm like, bet, let's run through the list. So, well, before we get to the list, let's start at the first place where we meet the Collectors, the big baddies of Mass Effect 2. We go to Freedom's Progress, and we fight a shit ton of... Freedom's Progress, by the way, is a human colony. We fight a shit ton of Collectors. We get to see them in the act, collecting humans, just grabbing them, putting them in stasis pods, and just flying away with them. And we meet something called Harbinger. What the fuck is a Harbinger? We're gonna get there. So Harbinger is like possessing the Collector minions and fighting, and it's so weird. And we fight him, and he's like an on and off target. He'll show up like at every other Collector site that we go to. We also meet Tali again. Yay, Tali! Tali's like, bitch, I thought you died. And I'm like, I did, and then I was brought back to life. Let's not worry about it. What's going on here? So there's a dude named Viter. He's also Korean, and he's traumatized. Peter is traumatized by what he saw. He got to see the collectors at work. He has evidence of everything that they've done, and it's bad. Miranda and Jacob. So Miranda and Jacob are Cerberus people. Miranda works close with the Elusive Man. He's like her side. She's like his sidekick or whatever. And they form our first two party members. So Miranda's like, let's take Victor with us and ask him questions. Tali's like, Victor is like fucked up in the brain and he's probably infected. Shepard, please let me take him back home. And I'm like, yes, 100% Tali, take your boy home, get him the help that he needs. We're not here to like, no, go take your boy home. It's fine. And I'm like, Miranda, I'm calling off Miranda. I'm like, bitch, calm down. We don't do that here, all right? If you're gonna be on my team, we're gonna do things my way, and in my way, we don't just be harassing traumatized victims. No, we don't do that. So we get the useful information about the collectors, but it's not a lot because we let Victor go and it's fine. Now we get to the dossier. So Jacob and Miranda come with the ship. That's done. The first person on the dossier that we go after is the Archangel. Who's Archangel? It's Garrus. Archangel is Garrus. Garrus, after fucking Shepard died, he couldn't get back into the C-Sex shtick. So he decided to go to Omega and play vigilante. Deadass. We meet this man. He's like he's posted up with a shotgun. Not a shotgun, a sniper rifle. And if you're into aliens, my god, it's a nice angle. I think I just exposed myself a little too much. Let's get back onto it. So Garrus is Archangel. He's playing vigilante on Omega. I already said that. So we pick him up. He's very eager to join us. He's like, Shepard, I missed your ass. I missed you. It's great to see you again. Of course I'm joining you. We fight with him. We fight on his side a little bit to like clear out some gangs, the Bloods, the Red whatever. It's just gangs in Omega. It's Omega. It's a home of debauchery and sin. That's what Omega is. If you get a chance to play the game, have fun. Omega's a fun place to go. Yeah, that's it. We pick up the professor. He's also an Omega. So the professor is a genius scientist Salarian, right? And he's on Omega finding a cure for a plague that affects every species and kills them except for the Vorcha and the humans. Now the Vorcha are this like species of all like creatures, and they're supposed to be really dumb, and they're just angry, and they're good like cannon fodder basically for like the gangs. That's basically what they're used for. But they are in one gang they are in the Blood Pack. That is the Vorcha Pack. So everyone assumes that the plague was started by the humans because humans are unaffected by it. No one assumes the Vorcha did it because the Vorchas aren't smart enough to do it. Turns out the Vorcha did do it. We find that out, right? Everybody's surprised. But in finding out, we get the professor, this genius Solarian dude, and we're like, hey, what's up? His name is Mordin. He is a fucking character. Honestly, the best part about this, the reason why this dossier thing is so much fun is because the characters are just so fun and unique and interesting, all in their own special way, and they're actually fun to like meet up on the ship. They're all in different places to like run up to on a ship and talk to them and hear about their history and just get to know them. That really just adds so much to the enjoyment of Mass Effect 2. It's one of the reasons it's like so loved. So Mordin is the professor. He's a Solarian genius. He's also one of the main scientists responsible for creating the genophage. Yeah, that becomes a whole conversation that we have with him, and we'll get to that, but that's who he is. And he's like, we meet Ari and Omega, and she's like, yeah, he's cool, but also like he will shoot people up. She's like, I've never met a doctor like him because he was being harassed by a gang one time. He just walked out with a gun and just shot them and then walked back in and went back to work. She's like, he's a different kind of doctor. So that's him. The next person we meet is the convict. So Jack is a convict. Jack is a biotic, very, very, very powerful bionic. And she's been arrested, captured, and imprisoned. Cerberus, Elusive Man, has basically bought her. It's like, this specific prison lets people do that. You can just like buy captures or whatever and sell them. So we bought Jack. We go there to pick up Jack, and we get trapped because the head of the warden is like, Jack is cool, but fuck, I have Shepard. You know how many people hate you, Shepard? I'm gonna make so much money off of selling you as a criminal. Bet. But he forgets that I'm amazing. So I shoot my way out of there, and I find Jack, and Jack is also breaking out. And we're like, Jack, you want to come with us? And Jack's like, you got a ship? I'm like, yes. He's like, bet, I'm coming with you. He's like, cool. So we take Jack. Then the last person we're getting for the first part is the Warlord. He's a Krogan scientist, which is rare. There aren't a lot of Krogan scientists. We go for the mad scientist. We leave with his creation. The Warlord was trying to create the perfect Krogan. He's like, I don't care about curing the genophage. Fuck the genophage. Y'all trying to have a bunch of Krogans? I want to make the perfect Krogan. So he creates Grunt, who he believes is the perfect Krogan, and puts all these memories in Grunt and all this other stuff. And then he dies, and we're like, okay, well, I guess we're taking Grunt then. So we just get Grunt. I love Grunt. He's like my baby. He's so fucking sweet and very aggressive. So be careful with Grunt. And that is the end of the first half of the dossier. Part 2, we get a mission to go to Horizon. There's another collector attack happening. So we're like sent to Horizon to go stop that. So while we're there, we meet Kaidan. Kaidan is none too happy that Shepard is alive because Kaidan, for multiple reasons. First, Kaidan's like, I saw you die. You're my girlfriend, and I saw you die. I have feelings for you, and I watched you blow up. And now you're back here alive in one piece, and you're working with Cerberus. In Mass Effect 1, we fought Cerberus. In the entire game that we played together, we were fighting Cerberus. Why are you with Cerberus and alive? And I'm like, Kaidan, it's not what you think. We just have similar goals right now, and that is to find the collectors. I'm not anti other species. Like I'm trying to explain to Kaidan, like it's not like I've switched sides or anything. I'm still Alliance at heart. It's just fucking Elusive Man brought me to life, and he asked me to find out what happened to the humans. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all this is. Kaidan's like, nope, I'm not doing that. That's messy, and I don't like it, and I don't like you. And he pieces the fuck off. He literally fucks off, and I'm like, wow, okay. So I take that as the thumbs up sign to pursue other more sexy aliens. Garrus, Thane, hold on to your britches because I'm coming for you. I'm kidding. No, but actually, I'm not kidding. Right, we fight Harbinger here too. He comes through again. He's like, I'm Harbinger. Fight. Yeah. Because he's just like taking over his like crew. He just kind of like possesses them and then attacks me with like powers. I can't actually kill him because every time I kill one Harbinger, another one just pops up somewhere else. But anyways, we are able to like stop the attack here, not completely because the collectors do take a few people. So, but we're able to eventually like do some stuff, and then we leave. More dossier fun, woo! So, the next person we go and get is Tali. We save Tali from a Geth attack, and it was a pretty fun fight, actually. We meet this other Quarian who I forgot his name, but I really like him. And because Tali's my girl and not my girlfriend, in this game I super ship them. I think they'd be great together. He's such a fighter at heart. I forgot his name. Richter? Starts with an R, I think. Anyways, we save her from a Geth attack. She joins the crew. She's important because she has an important ship upgrade. We'll talk about the upgrades in a little bit, but she's cool. Then we go after the assassin, Thane. I forgot the name of his species, but they're like amphibious in a way. They're like the Solarians are also amphibious, but like the Thane species, they actually look like frogs in a way. They're green. Thane is. So I started this game to romance Garrus, but then I met Thane, and I was like, Garrus, I'm so sorry, and I romanced Thane instead. I love Thane. So Thane is like very cool, chill, peaceful guy. He uses that to I guess it's his balance for his like assassin stuff, but whatever. So he's in Ilium. So Ilium is the home planet for the Asari, and that is also where Liara is. Liara is there being a badass bitch, badass businesswoman. What? We go to her and she helps us find Thane. Cool. So we get to he gives us like his next like target. So we go to the target. He kills the bad person. It's a bad person. We don't care too much because she's a bad person. We actually get to talk to some of the workers in like the bad person's company, and they tell us about like the bad things that she did and how she's left them for dead. So yeah, we don't care that Thane killed her. And anyways, after he does his killing, we're like, so Thane, you trying to come with us? And he's like, well, this was supposed to be my last mission, but sure, I'll come with you. And that's how we recruit Thane. Thane is great. Then still on Ilium, we get the Justicar Samara. So Samara is an Asari. She is a Justicar, which is this like, I don't want to call them like monks, but, but they're part of this like organization that follow this book to like the T, and they travel all over the galaxy seeking justice, and they dedicate themselves to this way of life, to this I don't know how else to like call it. They're just, I call them the Asari Justice Hunters, because that's basically what they are. So all Asari listen to the Justicars. If a Justicar says this person has violated the book and kills them, then all Asari are like, bet. So a murder thing happened in Ilium, and Samara shows up. I think she was just passing by, and she shows up, and according to her code, she can't just let justice go undealt or whatever. So she involves herself. However, there's a cop who's there, and she's like, I need help because she's violating a crime scene. We don't just murder people here, we arrest them. If I arrest her, she will be forced to kill me because she's a Justicar, but I can't let her just go crazy and attack people because I'm a cop and I have to like follow the law. So she's like, Shepard, if you could just take her away, that would be great. So I help out, and I help find like the bad person. We take care of the bad person who caused all the crime, and then I ship Samara away. Samara's like, okay, but I have no problem going with you because you're seeking justice, and that's part of my code is to seek justice. So I'm seeking justice with you. So we go together. There are two other dossier members that you get if you get the DLC. There's Kasumi, who is a thief. Everyone loves Kasumi Goto. She's oh gosh, she's fantastic. That's just all you can say about Kasumi. She's great. And there's Zaid, who I personally love. I think he gives very much Gratitude Man vibes. He's a bounty hunter and a mercenary, and he was contacted by Cerberus. They don't have missions. You legit just be picking them up. Like, I mean, they have loyalty missions, which we'll get into next, but you just pick them up basically. So before I get into part 3, each member of the dossier has a loyalty mission. If you want your dossier, your crew to survive the last mission in this game, you need to do their loyalty mission and do it well. If you do not do their loyalty mission and you do not do it well, they will die. Period. So if you like them, do their loyalty mission. So let's go through the loyalty missions. Kasumi wants you to help her steal her old partner's gray box. So this is just like a good old-fashioned heist. You get dressed up. There's a whole dress. You get a new dress, bitch. You look good. You get dressed up. You go to a party, and you sneak in, and you steal a box, and that's it. Like, it's just a good old-fashioned heist, and it's actually quite fun. And it's like one of the few missions that's not just like guns a-blazing every 3 seconds. Zaid wants us. His deal with the elusive man was that we would help hunt down Vito. So Zaid is the co-founder of the Blue Suns gang. And the other founder, Vito, shot him in the face and basically stole his gang. He wants revenge. So this one is hard because you have an option mid this mission to save a bunch of like innocents who are going to die by fire. If you save them, Vito will get away. If your check is high enough, you can convince Zaid to let it go, and he will remain loyal to you, and he will survive the suicide mission. If your check is not high enough, then you either have to let those innocent people die and get Vito and keep the loyalty, or you have to sacrifice loyalty and likely sacrifice Zaid as well. So I think to this day I still have not gotten like a high enough Paragon check to keep him on my side. So I've always had to I've saved them, but then I'd always have to like reload an old save and let them die the second time around, and it sucks. But that check is high. It's really fucking high. So people encourage you to do this right before endgame, because my god, is it so hard. But So then there's Jacob. We find his dad, who abandoned him when he was a kid. His dad is scum. Then there's Miranda. We find her sister and we protect her sister from her dad, who is scum. They both have daddy issues. It's funny. But no, I'm kidding. Let's go back. So yeah, Jacob's dad was on like a trip like decades ago. His entire ship crash landed on a planet, and this is kind of like this is hard to like piece together the story, but basically the plants on this planet make people more relaxed and docile, or at least it makes the women more relaxed and docile. I think it makes the men more aggressive. Jacob's dad becomes the leader of the group through just the death of the people above him, and he basically he sets all of the robots to basically fight and hunt and kill the men, and he keeps all of the women as like sex slaves, essentially. When I say this man is scum, like, just filthy, disgusting. Jacob agrees. Jacob is like, I don't know you. You ain't my daddy. I don't fucks with you. But yeah, so we find him. Jacob thought we were gonna be rescuing his like dad and his crew who were struggling and needed help, but no, we just discovered just filth. So we find him and we arrest him, and clearly, Miranda's dad built her basically from, I keep saying basically, from ground up. He's also there's a lot of mad scientists in Mass Effect world. He's also a mad scientist, and he basically built her up from scratch to be quote unquote perfect. Perfect face, perfect body, perfect everything. She wanted to protect her sister from her dad, so she kidnapped her sister and gave her away to a family that would actually care about her and love her. Her friend who helped her run away found out about this, and without realizing, like, I guess Miranda wasn't clear to him about what her dad did to her. He believed that Miranda just kidnapped a child from her dad, and so he betrayed her to her father and was working with her father to return Miranda's little sister back to their dad. Upon finding this out, Miranda of course felt betrayed and shot him, and we were able to rescue the sister and return the sister back to like her regular parents, and Miranda got to talk to her sister, and they have like a nice relationship now, and it's cool. Next person is Jack. So Jack was built in she was basically emotionally and physically and psychologically tortured, but in order to build like the perfect super bionic weapon. Basically, a lot of children died and were tortured and were experimented on to test implants that were then put into Jack. So now Jack is like an incredibly strong, like fantastically powered bionic, but the way she got there was just by just the worst shit. Like, they made her fight in a pit and would like shock her if she didn't kill her opponent. It was a mess. So she harbors a lot of resentment towards that place and that facility, so she wants to plant a bomb right in the center of it and watch it blow up. We get there, and we learn, like, as we're running around, we're like, that's the thing about a lot of these loyalty missions. As you do them, you learn a lot about the person for whom you're doing loyalty mission with, and that is what creates that bond. It makes you care when the last end of the game comes and you don't want them to die, because it's really, they are all so different and so unique and interesting, and it's great. So we get to the heart of the facility, and Jack meets this one dude who basically tells her, like, yeah, we weren't all just being like tortured for whatever reason. We're being tortured to test implants for you. You were subject 0. The rest of us were just fodder. But he says that he wants to try to, like, he seems to kind of like what they did in a way. He wants to find reason. They both got out of it and they're both traumatized, but whereas Jack grew to hate it, the other dude wants to find the reason behind it. He needs to believe that something came out of it. And I think he's trying to like replicate what happened there. So we can't let that happen. I think, does Jack kill him? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he lives very much. But we do blow up the facility and Jack is happy, which is great. Mordin, like I said earlier, Mordin is one of the head scientists for creating genophage. Mordin has a student who regrets the genophage and thinks it was like the worst thing they ever did. So he went to Tachanka and he's trying to cure the genophage, but he's doing it through immoral science. So like torturing people are dying, Krogan are dying, just like not good science. But they're also the Krogan who are being used for these projects. Mostly, I believe, are volunteer because they're so desperate for a genophage cure, and Mordin's like ex-student is desperate to find a cure and is willing to do whatever it takes, even things that aren't right. And Mordin's like, this is terrible. You can't. This science is unethical. And the student is like you're one to talk. The fuck, like you built the genophage. What you did was unethical. And basically, Mordin's kind of like trying to justify it to himself and say like, but even still, we didn't experiment on like living beings. Like we didn't experiment we didn't experiment on anyone. What you're doing is bad and immoral and terrible, whatever. So that entire mission is just us, like as we're walking through the science the science location, the makeshift lab in Tachanka. We're talking to Morden, basically trying to gauge to see if he has any kind of regret for what he did. And you kind of see that, like, he doesn't, as he's seeing the desperate lengths these Krogan women are going to try to undo what's happened to them. You could see that there is a part of him that's, like, growing sympathetic and is saying, like, though he doesn't regret what he did because he believed that at the time they needed something to go against the Krogan because they were just too dangerous. People were going to die. The entire galaxy was going to fall apart because of the Krogan. So though he doesn't regret what they did, you can tell that he's starting to believe that the genophage has gone on for too long. You can tell. So we have the option to delete his students' research because it's unethical. However, if you keep it, this is like a spoiler for Mass Effect 3. If you keep the research in Mass Effect 3, when the research is kind of continued on Eve and the other Krogan women, you're able to find a cure without killing Eve. If you delete the research, Morden will be starting from scratch, and because they have to rush it for the war and everything, Eve will not make it through the discovery of the cure. So even though the science is immoral and everything and unethical, I did choose to keep it because I wanted Eve to live to see the future that her sacrifices have, like, brought to her people. And Morden as well, I feel like, though he doesn't regret his actions in creating the genophage, I think he really needed to be a part of creating a cure for it. And because they were on, like, such a short timetable, the faster the better. So, like, yeah, I thought it was the right decision was to keep the science and use it for the greater good in the end. The next person is Grunt. So Grunt starts having, it's basically like fucking Krogan puberty. He just gets angry and he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, something's wrong. So we take him to Tachanka and we find Rex, the homie, because he's still alive, because everyone survived the suicide mission of Mass Effect 1. Well, that's not what it was called, but still. We find Rex and we're like, Rex, homie, and Rex is like, Shepard, I missed you. Shepard, it's great. It's a good time. Lovely little reunion. And I'm like, Grunt, not Grunt, Rex, this is Grunt. He's being weird. You want to explain this? And Rex is like, go talk to the shaman. I don't know nothing about this. So we go talk to the Krogan shaman. The Krogan shaman is like, he needs to go through his rite of passage. Every Krogan, once they reach a certain age, have to go through their rite of passage, which is when they fight this big ass worm thing in the ground, and you can pick who's gonna fight with you. And of course Grunt chooses me, and I'm like, fuck yes, I'm fighting with you, my boy. Like, what do you mean? Bruh, let's get in this pit. So no, literally. So me, Grunt, and one other person I can choose. I think I go with Garrus most of the time. We get in this big ass pit and we fight like fucking everybody. And then at the very end, this Krogan who does not want Grunt to pass his right and to join their Erdot. Sorry, I don't remember fucking how to pronounce Rex's last name. Erdnot. I think that's what it is. Anyway, he doesn't want a tank bred is what he calls them to join the Krogan because he thinks he'll make them weaker or whatever. Attacks us and we win because we're amazing and because Grunt is fantastic. We win the fight against him, and Rex welcomes Grunt into his clan, and it's great, and Grunt feels a lot better now that he's passed his rite of passage. Garrus, in the 2 years we were gone, Garrus started his own little gang, I guess you'd call it, in Omega, where he was going around helping the citizens of Omega. While he was there, one of his members betrayed him and betrayed his entire gang to this other dude who had it out for Garrus. And the other dude was able to basically annihilate all of Garrus's team. Just all of his team members died, and Garrus feels really guilty about that. But he also blames this one dude who's a complete ass that got his entire crew killed. So Garrus wants revenge. you can help Garrus get revenge and get his loyalty, or you can appeal to Garrus's sense of honor. Because if Turians are have anything, it's a fucking sense of honor. Turians are incredibly honor bound, and we're able to basically convince him that like not to do it. And the asshole is like, he's rocked with guilt over the whole thing. He hates himself for it. And Garrus is like, okay, that'll do for me. And we go back and Garrus is a little upset, but he gets over it because I'm his girlfriend. He can't stay mad at me. But even if I wasn't his girlfriend, I'm his commander and he loves me. So yeah, so we're able to save Garrus's soul. Samara's daughter, all of her daughters, she has 3 daughters, are things called Ardakyashi. I cannot say it as smoothly as they do. But basically, they are these things in Asari things. It's basically a genetic disorder that can make an Asari insatiable, I think is the best word for it. They'll connect, they'll do like a mind meld or whatever with you in a sexual sense, but instead of stopping, they'll just kill you. That's the problem. They can't stop, and they're insatiable. So normally they seclude themselves and just live out the rest of their lives in seclusion. But one of Samara's daughter, who's Ardakyashi, got out and went to Omega, and Samara feels guilty because she has the gene that makes them, so that's why all of her daughters are one. So she wants to go out and kill her daughter, and we do that. We basically seduce her daughter. And then in the room, the room where we're about to get nasty with it, Samara comes in, busts in, and saves our life and kills her daughter. Tali reaches out to us. So, no, she doesn't reach out to us. Her ship reached out to her and was like, you are banned for treason. There's going to be a hearing. You should come through. Tali's like, Shepard, I don't know what happened. What's going on? And I'm like, what's happening? So we get down there, and apparently Tali has been bringing back Geth components, which is not legal. And Tali's like, all the components I brought back were deactivated and broken, and we only brought them back to give to her father. She brought them back for her father. She brought them back to her father so that he could experiment on them and discover a weakness to the Geth. That was the goal, right? What she did not know was that her father was revitalizing, I guess, these Geth components to test on the actual Geth, and he fucked up. It basically built a Geth, and it just mowed its way through an entire wing of their ship. So we have to go down this wing and basically find evidence proving that Tali's not involved in this. And the way we can go about this is, there are multiple ways, because Tali doesn't want to reveal her father's crimes because she doesn't want to ruin his like image. But we're like, you can't not reveal it because you're being branded a traitor, and it's just, oh my god, it's a fucking mess. And it's like a lot of politics. You have to talk to a lot of people, and there's a vote. And if your paragon is high enough, you can give this fantastic speech that's like, you guys know Tali, and she's worked her ass off for you and for this ship and for the Quarians, and she's dedicated and loyal. And if you guys cannot see past your fucking egos and your pride or whatever to value that above all, then you don't deserve Tali. And I don't remember, I believe Tali's name is like cleared, but Tali chooses to join the Normandy, so she becomes Tali Vos Normandy. Tali Zora Vos Normandy. I know she's Tali Zora Vos Normandy for the trial, because I, as her captain, end up being her like spokesperson. And I believe she stays that way after the trial, even though we clear her name. That one I don't remember very well. The last one is Thane. Thane was not a good dad to his son, or a good husband to his wife, probably. His son, feeling like neglected, decides to become an assassin, and he goes out to assassinate. And Thane is like, I found out my son is trying to assassin, and I don't want my son to go down the same line that I did. Can we please save him? And I'm like, yeah, bet. So we go and we stop Zane's son from becoming an assassin. It actually wraps up pretty quickly. Thane is Thane. Yeah, doing their loyalty missions is a very good way to get them in your bed. That's just the fact. Because after the loyalty missions, the flirting can really, like, you're already flirting, but like the flirting can get really, you know. Moving moving on. So the next thing, after we've done all the loyalty missions, the next thing we get is instructions to get to a collector ship to get this thing. No, not yet. So the collector ship, we just learn a lot about the collectors, and on the ship we find out that one, some of the collectors look like Protheans. So these collectors aren't just taking random, because that's what the collectors do, right? They're traders, right? They'll trade things to other people or species for citizens. And there was a huge thing in Omega where I think the Blue Suns were trading Omega citizens to the collectors, and Arya was like, absolutely not my citizens, and they went and they shot the place, and I think everybody died, collectors and gang members, and I think some of the citizens, or maybe all the citizens, died too. But like, that's what the collectors do. But normally it's like little small chunks. They've never been in like different species, but now all of a sudden they're like super focused on humans, and they're taking them by colony. And so we find out that some of them look like Protheans. So these collectors have been around since then, have been taking species since then. And we also find out that Harbinger is not just a collector thing, he's a Reaper that's using the collectors to get humans with the intention of creating something. So Harbinger is a Reaper. It was hard enough destroying fucking Sovereign, and now we've got Harbinger. Great. So we get that information and we escape the ship. The next thing we need is this thing called a Reaper IFF that will help us get to the Omega 4 relay. The collector ship is on the other side of the Omega 4 relay, but going through it will destroy your ship. But we can't even get to it because first we need this thing called a Reaper IFF. So in getting the Reaper IFF, we meet my favorite individual in the entire Mass Effect series from beginning to fucking end, even more than Garrus, and I love Garrus. We meet Legion. We hop in and we have all these like robots, whatever, trying to shoot at us, and then they just start getting sniped. They just start to fall, and it's like, and this Geth machine jumps down, just starts just like knocks them all down. They all go down, and then it turns to us, and we're like, huh? And it looks at us and just goes, Shepard Commander, and like runs off. And I'm like, wait a second, why am I in love? Oh, not like in love like I want to bump and ground. In love like this is my baby. He just says Shepard Commander just runs off. We follow him. It's a fucking Geth. He just saved our lives, and it knows our name. And it has a piece of N7 armor welded to its body. N7 armor is the Normandy armor. The N7 armor is the armor that I wore through all of Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. You can change it up and whatever, but like that is the iconic Shepard's fucking armor suit, and it also blew up with Shepard at the beginning of the game, and that's where Legion got it. As for why Legion has it, I can't tell you everything. You have to like enjoy it. Go on YouTube and look up Legion and just enjoy Legion content. It's fun. He is the best, absolutely the best. And he has Legion armor welded to him, and he calls me Shepard Commander, and I love it. So we follow Legion, and we find him at this at the place of the IFF Reaper IFF thing, and we're like, you're Geth, aren't you supposed to be on the side of the Reapers? And he's like, bitch, it's a lot more complicated than that. My name is Legion. We gotta get this thing. And I'm like, okay. So I think he ends up getting like zapped or some shit. I don't even remember. But we end up bringing him to the Normandy. We just take him with us. And when it's time for him to wake up, everyone's got like guns trained on him, and I'm like, y'all need to chill the fuck out. So I walk in, and he wakes up, and he's like, Shepard Commander, and I'm like, ah! Okay, I'm not like but like Shepard is like, so you're a Geth, you saved my life, you helped me get the Reaper IFF, like you're not attacking me, you have a piece of my armor welded to you, I have questions. And Legion answers all the questions, and basically what Legion expresses to us is that the Geth are not all Reaper servants. The Geth are a hive mind, but they still have like individualism in a sense. Each unit is kind of its own personality, but they are still part of a hive mind. However, that hive mind has kind of split into two, and now you have the Reapers as regular Reapers who just kind of chilling. I said Reapers, I meant Geth. You have the regular Geth who are just kind of chilling, and you have the heretics. The heretics are the Geth who have switched sides over to the Reapers. They're the ones who we've been fighting this whole time, not just the Geth in general, the heretics specifically. And we bring Legion onto the team because Legion is like, I also don't like the Reapers. I think that they're bad news. Yeah, and so Legion gets its own loyalty mission. So Legion's loyalty mission is basically the Geth are divided in two, and we have the option to either we need to get to like the Geth core, basically the hive mind thing, and we have to decide to either reunite the heretics with the other Geth or to delete them. We choose to reunite. It was never a question for me. I wasn't just gonna destroy Legion's home like that even though like they don't have the concept of like family and stuff, that's Legion's family. I'm not just gonna kill them if there's a chance to like bring them back to sanity. And there are a lot of like there's a lot of discussions and philosophical questions about this and the ethics of it, and is it okay because we're basically rewiring their brain, just a lot. But at the end of the day, Legion says that the Geth trust Shepard to make the decision. But the crazy thing is like they voted and it was like 150 said destroy the heretics, 153 said save the heretics. I'm like, sounds to me like you got a majority, but like for them it was too close. It wasn't clear. So I saved the heretics and added them to the rest of the Geth, and it was a pretty, I enjoyed that mission, the sneaking around the Geth base and just all this other stuff, and just talking to Legion in his little robotic voice, and Legion and Tali almost get into a fight on my ship. That happens a few times where certain members who are rather volatile will come into contact, and you have to make a choice about them. Like Miranda and Jack fought at one point. You have to make a choice there. Legion and Tali fought, which makes sense because Legion is a Geth and Tali is a Quarian. And with Miranda and Jack, Cerberus owned the facility that created Jack, so there's animosity there too. I believe Legion was trying to access information that Tali deemed would be dangerous for the Quarians if it got into the hands of the Geth. And anyways, Legion agrees to chill on that, and Tali agrees to play nice. And it's just like a thing. It's just the funniest thing. It's sad about like their history, but there is a mission in Mass Effect 3 that goes through the Geth's kind of history a little bit more, and it just makes you love Legion more. I fucking love Legion. He is my heart. I adore that man, that robot. But yeah, after we get Legion's the last person we pick up. He's not in Dossier, but we just kind of pick him up. And all loyalty missions are done. So we get to the point of no return. So, before you can do the point of no return, which is like Joker's jump or something, you need to make sure your ship is upgraded. So with each new person you get, they have upgraded armor upgrades, weapon upgrades, shield upgrades for the ship, and then you go to this little machine that lets you upgrade your ship. If you do not upgrade your ship will be destroyed on launch and people will die. Different people will die depending on what part of the ship gets blown up, because different people will be in different places while you're making that jump. So if you want everyone to live, you have to finish all of the loyalty missions, get them all on your good side, and make sure the ship is completely upgraded. Do not fuck around with the upgrades of the ship. People will die. But once you've done all that, you get to the point of no return. So the final mission starts with the main crew being sent away, and the Normandy gets attacked. Joker, who has, I forgot the name of the disease, but basically like an extreme version of brittle bones, he can't run, otherwise he will like just break his bones. But he's a fantastic pilot, just he can't do much. He's not much use on his feet, basically. So the ship gets attacked by collectors, and the crew starts being collected, and EDI is like, I can help purge the ship of the collectors, but you have to unshackle me. EDI, right? EDI is a shackled artificial intelligence. So Cerberus created her and put her in the Normandy, but because she's shackled, she doesn't really qualify as a full AI. But she sticks around. She's there for the entire game. She's fun. She gives us advice. Her and Joker start off fighting because she's trying to like fly the ship, and Joker's like, get your hand off my ship. But they end up just like being the bestest of friends by the end of it. EDI is great. We love EDI, but she's one of those people who's one of those aspects of the game that's just so consistently there, like Joker, but like isn't affecting the story in any major way. So there's nothing for me to say about her, but we love EDI as well. She's fantastic. So she's like, you unshackle me and give me full control, and I will get rid of the collectors. Joker's like, bet, and he kind of like hobbles his way to past all the collectors to the fucking engine where he unshackles Edie, and Edie clears the ship of the collectors right in time for everyone to get back. Unfortunately, the entire crew is gone. They just weren't able to like save everyone in time. The entire crew was gone with the exception of Joker. So this is where you have a choice that no one tells you about. If you go through the Omega 4 relay immediately afterwards, you are able to save the entire crew, the Doctor and Kelly. If you do like 2 or 3 more missions, you will lose the crew, but you'll be able to save the Doctor and Kelly. If you do more than like 2 or 3 more missions, you will lose the entire crew and Kelly and only be able to save the Doctor. So I didn't know this in my first playthrough, and I kept running around doing missions and stuff, and I lost everyone except for the Doctor. But then I did some research and I found out this, because no one tells you. So the next time I went through, I went straight to the Omega 4 relay, and I was like, let's just do this now. And I was able to save the crew and Kelly and everyone. And because I got all the upgrades, my ship made it through the Omega 4 relay. There are gonna be like little mini missions, like someone has to crawl through a vent, someone has to go to this place, someone has to go to that place, and you have to pick who's going to do what. And each one will tell you what kind of skills will be valuable. So for something that's more technical, you want to have maybe Talia or Legion do it because they both are really good with technical shit. For something that requires a little bit more combat, you might want to have Miranda, Jacob, Garrus, like one of the people who really know how to handle a gun, do that one. You know, I don't know how negatively it'll affect you if you have someone who's bad at something do it. People might die, I don't really know, but like it's not too difficult to figure out who should do what, just based on a description. At the very end, once you've saved everyone, you have to have one person escort everyone back. The best choice for that one is Morden, because though he is a scientific genius and is engineering genius and just has all of the brains and everything, he's combat wise, he's still like one of the weakest, so it's better to have him go back with everyone and have the rest of them stick around and fight with you. And so you take so the other ones stick around and they fight and they cover you. You take 2 people. I go with the girls, alright? I always go with the same girls every time. Tali and Jack. So, oh yeah, there's one thing where it's like you need someone who's really good with bionics and to like shield you as you go through this like infested area. And you can get Samara or someone else to do it. I always go with Samara. Your other option is Jack because she's like super bionic woman, but I have other plans for Jack, so I always have Samara do it. At the end of it, like the only people who I feel like I don't really get to use much are Tali and Jack. So I always go with Tali and Jack. They're my girls. I always fight this last fight with them. And the last fight is basically this big ass fight with a human Reaper. It's literally a Reaper in human form. You only get to see it from like the chest area and up. You see its arms, you see its eyes, and you're just like shooting into like its eyes whenever that becomes available. And these big pipes that pump that the humans are like blended up into this weird like fucking liquid, and you use to power up this Reaper, and that's why the humans are required. They're just fuel, right? So you shoot this little pipes and they explode, and if you do all of that, the thing will like fall apart and you'll blow up the collector base, and Harbinger will piece the fuck out, because remember, Harbinger's never actually there. Harbinger's just like possessing the collectors and talking through them. So Harbinger pieces the fuck out, and you just kind of watch. You fly away on your ship with your crew and you watch as the collector base explodes. It's like the story itself is actually quite short. Yeah, I think that's it. Right, and before all this happens, right, as you're going to that final mission, the suicide mission, as they call it, depending on who you romance, whoever you romance will come to your room. You guys get to smash dirty. Like, get to bump uglies, as the children don't ever say. So, when I chose Thane, it was me and Thane. It was quite romantic. When I chose Garrus, he came with wine and made awkward advances, and it was great. It was so cute. I never regret either of them. I'm gonna drop like my reasoning for who I romance when at the very end. But let me think. That's most of like the important bits about about Mass Effect 2. The next thing on Mass Effect that's relevant is actually Mass Effect 2 DLC called Arrival, which is a DLC, but it's not really optional, for being honest with you. Basically, to just sum up the Arrival DLC very quickly, it's a solo trip, and basically Shepard finds herself on a base of indoctrinated humans who have the intention of, they initially went on that base to like blow up a mass relay that the fucking Reapers were gonna come through using an asteroid to like buy them some time. But they all got indoctrinated really quickly, so they abandoned the planet. Instead, they were going to try to help the Reapers come in. Shepard, of course, stops this by actually throwing the asteroid into the mass relay. But in doing so, she finds out that the explosion caused by that impact would absolutely wipe out all living species within a certain like radius around that mass relay, including a Batarian colony filled with 3 million Batarians. Shepard tries to warn them, but she's cut off by the crazy person who is like who's behind this whole thing, and she doesn't get the chance, and because of that she ends up just like killing 3 million Batarians, but prolonging the Reaper invasion for a few more months. So that's why, and so as a result of her actions, Shepard basically gets docked, and that's why in Mass Effect 3 we start off 6 months later, and Shepard has basically lost her status as a commander. Oh, by the way, she gets reassigned Spectre status in Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. It's the whole thing. But the Spectre status becomes useful in terms of like getting certain requisitions done. But yeah, Spectre status can't save her from this. No, I lied. She loses her Spectre status in Mass Effect 2 because she joins Cerberus, which is known as a human terrorist group, even though it's a temporary join, which, I forgot one huge major thing. Right, the Human Reaper thing. The Illusive Man wants Shepard to save the data about the Human Reaper because he believes Cerberus and the human group can use it to basically become the strongest species in the galaxy. Shepard, not being an idiot, deletes that data. She's like, absolutely not. Even if we were going to keep this, not in your hands. Like, not in you're crazy. Absolutely not. So Shepard deletes it. But the Illusive Man, being in persistence, if not anything, sends his crew down there, and they start like digging for remnants or whatever and try to get as much data as they possibly can. But because she is working with Cerberus, she loses her Spectre status, which is why in Mass Effect 3 she has to get it reassigned. Right, but because of that and because of the Batarian thing, she just gets docked and she can't go anywhere, which is why we start off 6 months later with everyone being like, oh my gosh, Shepard, you were right. The Reapers do exist and they're coming for us and they're here. And Shepard's like, yeah, no fucking shit. What? Like, it's just it's such an aggravating intro because it's so good, the intro of Mass Effect 3, but it's also like, I've been telling y'all this for literally 2 whole games. I've been telling y'all that the Reapers were coming and that we need to get ready, and y'all didn't want to listen. Y'all thought I was crazy. Now look, everybody's getting shot up. We lost so much just getting rid of one Reaper. Now we got a whole fleet coming through. Y'all think this is a game? It's not a game. But yeah, at the end of Arrival, Shepard has a conversation with Harbinger, who's like, we will come. And Shepard's like, bring it, bitch. It's a great scene. It's fantastic. But that is basically the story of Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, if you were able to keep up with any of that. Sorry if you weren't. Right, the way I romance in Mass Effect 2, I can't say because I can. In Mass Effect 2, I romance Thane because I know he's going to die in Mass Effect 3 because of his condition, and I know that makes me a terrible person, but it's true. Because if I romance Kaidan in Mass Effect 1, he dumps me in the beginning of Mass Effect 2. I romance Thane in Mass Effect 2, and I love Thane. He dies in the middle of Mass Effect 3, and I romance Garrus in Mass Effect 3, and I get to live happily ever after with Garrus. And now I have been in a relationship with every single man I was interested in. I feel like a bad person. I feel like a bad person admitting it, but you can't lie. It's a good plan if you can't decide between Thane and Garrus. You just do Thane first and then wait for him to croak. Copy that. Anyways, that is the what is that? I don't know what that is. That is the fucking recap, I guess. Messy, long, just just a recap of Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. So yeah, if you are actually watching the no commentary playthrough of Mass Effect 3 now, and you didn't know what was happening in Mass Effect 1 and 2, you must have been really lost. Well, now you will be, I wouldn't say less lost, but I feel like you'll actually be more lost, well, I tried. So, and that's all we can ever really do in life is try, right? Yeah. And don't forget, you don't have to choose between men when if you finesse it and you plan it just right, you can have both of them. Not at the same time, but one after the other. You're welcome.